Morning. Protagoras, day 19. When I said this, and more to the same effect, Protagoras gave no clear indication of which he would do. Alcibiades then glanced at Callias and said, "Do you still approve of what Protagoras is doing, refusing to say whether or not he will be the answerer?" "I don't." "Let him either continue the discussion or tell us that he is unwilling, so that we may know where we are with him, and Socrates can talk to someone else, or any of the rest of us start a conversation." These words of Alcibiades and requests from Callias and almost all those present made Protagoras feel ashamed, or so I thought, and induced him to return reluctantly to the discussion. He said, therefore, that he would answer and told me to put my questions. "Protagoras," I began, "please don't think that I have any other purpose in this discussion than to investigate questions which continually baffle me. I believe Homer hit a nail on the head when he said, 'If two go together, one perceives before the other.' Somehow we all feel better fortified in this way for any action or speech or thought." But to continue the quotation, "If one alone perceive," and then the quotation stops. Why, he goes off at once looking for someone to whom he can show his idea, and with whom he can firm it, and who will not rest till he finds him. That is why I would rather talk to you than to anyone else, because I think you are the most capable of elucidating the kind of questions that a good man gives his mind to, and in particular the questions of virtue. After all, whom else should I look for? Not only are you, as you believe, an excellent member of society yourself, there are some men very good in themselves who cannot pass on their good qualities to others. But you have also the ability to make others good, and with such confidence that although some have made a secret of their art, you openly announce yourself to the Greeks by the name of sophist, and set up as a teacher of culture and virtue, but first to claim payment for his services. Naturally, I must call on you for assistance in pondering these subjects, and enlist you with me by asking you questions. It could not be otherwise. I don't think it's a question of is Socrates sincere or not. It's a question in what way and to which degree is he sincere. Oh, there's a jojo alma mia. I want to kill it, but I won't. Not yet. It's an ugly jojo. I let pretty jojos live, but that's an ugly jojo. Okay, focus. When there is no man to talk to, I guess, you speak to jojos. And I'm referring here to what Socrates says, that if you have an idea, you go searching for someone who you can reflect your ideas upon. Good thing I don't have ideas. I want then to go back to the beginning, to my first questions to you on the subject. Some things I want you to remind me of, and others I want to investigate with you. The question, if I am not mistaken, was this: wisdom, temperance, courage, justice, and holiness are 5 terms. Do they stand for a single reality, or has each term a particular entity underlying it, a reality with its own separate function, each different from the other? Your answer was that they are not names for the same thing, but that each of these terms applies to its own separate reality, and that all these things are parts of virtue. not like the parts of a lump of gold, all homogeneous with each other and with the whole of which they are parts, but like the parts of a face, resembling neither the whole nor each other, and each having a separate function. If you are still of the same mind, say so, but if not, then declare yourself. I certainly shall not hold you to your words if you now express yourself differently. Very likely you spoke as you did to test me. Depends from which level you look, I would say. Everything is separate and everything is one. Depends just from what level you look. All the virtues are separate virtues, but if you go a bit deeper, it's just one. I don't know, but it's a good, apparently, Socrates don't like this metaphor of the face. Let's go on, let's continue and see what the wise man has to say. I read The Hermit this morning, so that was interesting. What I also found interesting was that the Hierophant, I don't know how to pronounce that, in the cards, in this stack of cards, is said to be the ego trying to spiritualize itself or something like that. Well, only when you reach the hermit stage is it actually the self looking for the self. And the Hierophant was said to me in a previous drawing, long time ago, as what is standing between me and one particular dream. And I thought, well, then I'll just let him stand there. I'm not going to fight the Hierophant. But the Hierophant is simply the ego expressing itself. I might want to reconsider that. That is... I don't know how I'm relating that to Plato. I guess everything is related if you really... I can find a way, but I don't feel like it. Where was I? No, he said. My view is that all these are parts of virtue, and that 4 of them resemble each other fairly closely. But courage is very different from all the rest. The proof of what I say is that you can find many men who are quite unjust, unholy, intemperate, and ignorant, yet outstandingly courageous. Stop, said I. What you say merits investigation. Do you qualify the courageous as confident, or in any other way? As confident, yes, and keen to meet dangers from which most men shrink in fear. Then again, you consider virtue an honorable thing, and it is on the assumption that it is honorable that you offer to teach it. Unless I'm quite mad, it is the most honorable of all things. Part base and part honorable, I asked, or all honorable? All honorable as can be. Now, do you know which men plunge fearlessly into tanks? Yes, divers. Is that because they know their job or for some other reason? Because they know their job. And what men feel confidence in a cavalry engagement, trained or untrained riders? Trained. And in fighting with the light shield, peltist or non-peltist? Peltists, whatever that means. People trained in fighting with the light shield. And this holds good generally, if that is what you are after. Those with the relevant knowledge have more confidence than those without it, and more when they have learned the job than they themselves had before. That is very, very obvious, I almost want to say. That's why I appear to be someone without any confidence in myself, but I am not. I'm just not confident in this world. Because I have not the relevant knowledge. But, said I, have you ever seen men who have no understanding of any of these dangerous occupations, who yet plunge into them with confidence? Indeed, yes, with only too much confidence. And does not their confidence involve courage too? No, far for it. For if it so, courage would be something to be ashamed of. Such men are mad. He has something with madness, apparently. Now then, how then do you define the courageous? Did you not say they were the confident? Yes, I still maintain it. Well, those who are thus ignorantly confident show themselves not courageous, but mad, and conversely, in the other case, it is the wisest that are also most confident, and therefore most courageous. Wisers here, I think, simply equated with those who have the relevant knowledge. On this argument, it is their knowledge that must be courage. No, Socrates, he said. You have not remembered rightly that I said in my reply, what I said in my reply. When you asked me whether the courageous are confident, I agreed. But I was not asked whether the confident are also courageous. If you had asked me that at the time, I should have said, not all of them. And you have no way disproved my admission by showing that the courageous are not confident. Further, when you argue that those who have knowledge are more confident than they were before, and also than others who are ignorant, and thereupon, well, that would have been a blessing if people who were ignorant were actually not confident. And thereupon conclude that courage and wisdom are the same thing. You might as well go on and conclude that physical strength is knowledge. First of all, you would proceed to ask me whether the strong are powerful, and I would agree. Next, whether those who know how to wrestle are more powerful than those who do not, and more powerful after they have learned than before. Again, I should agree. And it would then be open to you to say, adducing the same proofs, but on my own admission, wisdom is physical strength. But here again I somehow admit that the powerful are strong, only that the strong. But here again I nowhere admit that the powerful are strong, only that the strong are powerful. Power and strength are not the same. Power can result from knowledge, and also from madness or passion, whereas strength is a matter of natural constitution and bodily nurture. Similarly, in our present discussion, I deny that confidence and courage are the same, and it follows that the courageous are confident, but not all the confident are courageous. Confidence, like power, may be born of skill, or equally of madness or passion, but courage is a matter of nature and the proper nurture of the soul. Courage is a matter of nature and the proper nurture of the soul. The proper nurture of the soul, that's nice. Nature and the proper nurture of the soul. That's nice. I would have been baffled, but Socrates just continues. And we will continue another day. Hope you have a beautiful one.